Darren Greenfield here from Invert Strategies, a strategy practice that helps you establish the clarity that drives your genius. We are a strategy practice that focuses in multiple concentrations. We work on life strategy, leadership strategy, brand strategy, product strategy, entrepreneurial strategy, DEI strategy, and organizational strategy. And one of the things that I want to talk about, or the thing that I am going to talk about today, is a life strategy. We use a process called Lifeplan for our clients here at Invert. And what Lifeplan does is it helps our clients gain clarity on where they are in their life, what is their greatest area of contribution, where their purpose is, and how to execute that at a high level. Now, Lifeplan is way different than an assessment. And I notice that a lot of people are taking assessments and they believe that that is a plan that will help them execute their purpose. I believe that assessments are great first steps, but there's a lot more work that needs to go in understanding your highest level of contribution, your purpose, and where you should be at in life. And so I just didn't want to explain a life plan without, one, showing you what some of the tools look like, and two, letting you know that I consistently go through life plans myself. I would never offer someone a product that I don't believe in or that I wouldn't use myself. So what I want to do is I want to explain to you how we guide Invert clients through the life plan process. One of the slogans that we use at Invert is the slogan, dig deep. When it's time to go to work, when it's time to figure out your purpose, when it's time to execute out in the world, when it's time to bring your best self out into culture in the world to help transform it, we want you to dig deep. We don't want you to waste your time in life giving superficial work. And dig deep is actually an acronym that means the first thing we want you to do is be decisive and dedicated. Be decisive and dedicated about who you are, what you're good at, and what you're going to do. The second thing we want you to know is your place in ingenuity and innovation. Where do you innovate? Where are you going to be used in the areas of ingenuity and innovation? The third thing we want you to do is we want you to grind through your giftedness. You get that? D, decisive and dedicated. I, ingenuity and innovation. G, grind through your giftedness. Dig. That's our shovel. That's the shovel that you're going to use to get through life. That's where you're going to be turning the dirt up at. And then the second thing we want you to do, we don't only want you to dig, we want you to dig deep. We want you to function in your designed area of expertise. Where were you designed to be an expert at? Where were you designed to give your highest level of contributions? We want you to be there. We want you to have evaluation consistently in your life. You should always, in a good way, in a healthy way, in a patient way, but in a very deep way, always evaluating your life and your contribution and what you're doing. The third thing we want you to do is we want you to know where your energy is being invested or wasted. So D, design area of expertise. E, evaluation. The next E is energy, where it's being invested and wasted. And then P, we want you to practice the plan and run the play. And so what I want to do is I want to show you some of the tools that we use in Lifeplan that will actually look at some of these areas and help you work through understanding the answers to these processes. Now, let me take you to the process of Lifeplan. We run through 4 stages. The first one is we gather perspective. Where are you now in your life? Are you functioning in your purpose, out of your purpose? Are you giving your highest level of contribution, low levels of contribution? Are you refreshed? Are you spent and just tired of life? Where are you? The second step we take in Lifeplan is we go into planning. What's important for you now? What do we need to build into your life? What do we need to set as targets for you to execute? Management. How am I doing now? How am I managing my life now? And what tools do I need to manage it better? And then fourth, renewal. What needs to change? Now, here are some of the tools that I'll highlight for our dig deep slogan at Invert Strategy. The first one, we want you to be decisive and dedicated. So we want you to know your talent and heart assessment. A talent and heart assessment are the top 3 to 5 things that you are good at, that you've been affirmed in, that people enjoy you doing, that you enjoy doing. And my three things are: I'm a clarifying communicator, I'm a life developer, and I'm a cultural solutionist. Those are the three things that I'm going to do well in any arena. Those are the three things where I give my highest level of contribution, where I get my highest level of affirmation. And then I need to take those things that I am really good at, my talents, and I need to line them up with my heart. And in my heart assessment, I'm going to ask three questions. What do I care about? What do I dream about? And what is my opus gloria contribution to life? What do I care about? What do I dream about? And if all my dreams could come true, what would be the biggest contribution that I can leave in this world when it comes to my life? So we want you to be decisive and dedicated to functioning in the areas where you're talented at and doing the things that you really care about. Not only do we want you to do that, we want you to know your place when it comes to ingenuity and innovation. So we want to look at your internal wiring. Who are you as a person? Where are your drivers? What drives you to accomplish things in life? Is it making a contribution? Is it primary leadership? Is it image and presentation? Or is it secondary leadership? What are your drivers? My drivers are image and presentation for my drivers. I want to make sure things are right. I want you to live in your purpose and be presented as somebody that's living in your purpose, and to fix the things that don't have you living in your purpose. I want you to present yourself to the world in the way that you've been designed to present yourself in the world. I want your image to function. I want your business to function in the image of being a top tier business. I want it to be presented as top tier. I want the things behind the curtain to actually be right. So you are giving people the greatest show that you possibly can, the greatest impact that you possibly can. That is one of my drivers. That is my prime driver, image and presentation. My comfort zones are people and secondary ideas. Now, let me tell you where I've gone wrong in my life in taking assessments and not really digging deep into my life plan. All my assessments tell me that I'm built for primary leadership. They say, this is the number one thing that you can do. You're a leader. You lead well, you lead well, you lead well. And I do lead well. But I don't lead well, or I don't give my highest level of contribution as a primary leader within an organization. I lead well when I am leading people and developing them and showing them the problems and helping them find solutions to their life, when I'm clarifying and communicating with them. So I was placed in areas off of assessments and primary leadership, and I can lead, I can do the leadership, but it's not a driver for me. So I'm not excited about it. I'm not going after it like people may want me to. I'm not performing at my highest level of contribution. So not only am I suffering, the organizations that I'm working with are suffering. Here we go. Comfort zones. I used to think that my comfort zones were ideas, primary ideas. Because I'm an intellectual, I like to think and all that. I thought they were primary ideas, but no, what I love to think about is people. And I am one that remembers, I clarify, I'm a developer, and I'm a solutionist. So primary ideas aren't my thing, secondary ideas are. I take things and I make them better. I help you establish the clarity that drives your genius. I help you figure it out. I work with people in secondary ideas. That's where I land, and I am placed in a land of ingenuity and innovation. If I do anything with innovation, it's going to be in these areas. And then the third one, grinding through giftedness. It's the thinking wavelength tool that we use. We ask you a series of questions, and we actually have you rate yourself. Where are you when it comes to this series of questions? Now, mind you, when I did my first life plan, I was in this current role when I just did my life plan refresh. I have recently gotten out of that role because I realized that that role had me operating in somewhere where I wasn't gifted. I wasn't grinding through my giftedness, and I knew I had to get out of that role, and I had to go to my highest level of contribution to grind through my giftedness. That's the shovel. being decisive and dedicated, knowing where you are when it comes to ingenuity and innovation, and grinding through your giftedness. That's what you're digging with. And where do you want to dig and how do you want to dig? You want to dig deep. So what do we need to know? Our designed area of expertise. And that's when we want to look through our life perspective filter, and not only our values, but our vocational gating process, right? And this is one of the things that we want to look at in the vocational gating process. I was here. Let me go to area 2. Okay, here we go. It's right here. My life perspective filter. I was going by it. At the time when I was going through my life plan refresh, I was a lead pastor at a church plant. And I really evaluated one thing. This is what we talk about, having your design area of expertise. I evaluated one thing wrong, which made me think I was supposed to be in a place. And then I evaluated one thing wrong on the other side, which made me think I wasn't supposed to be in a place. So right now I'm a Patterson StratOp guide and I'm a life plan developer. I am a strategist. What happens is this right here turned to green. And let me show you how this works, because you'll be able to do this as you evaluate your plan. I was actually on the borderline of yellow and green here in life experience for being a StratOp guide, a strategist, a life plan guide. And I thought I had the internal wiring of a lead pastor. And guess what? I didn't. So I was spending my time being somewhere that I wasn't supposed to be. And I was hesitant to actually evaluate myself in the right way to be in the place where I was supposed to be. And I had to make a swap because I wasn't operating in the highest level of my contribution. I wasn't operating in my purpose. I wasn't operating in my designated area, my designed, area of expertise, what I was designed to do, who I was designed to do it for, and who I was designed to do it with. So after we understand our design area of, oh, hold on, you got to save this right here. Let me save this so that won't go back. And then let me get back into view mode. After I look at my design area of expertise, I want to look at evaluation. I want to continuously evaluate my life. And what I'm going to look at for that is my dashboard here. And what your dashboard does is it shows you the areas of risk that you have in not accomplishing your purpose or performing at your highest level of contribution. And then it shows you the vital signs. What are the vital signs that keep you healthy, or the vital signs, if you miss them, that are going to make you unhealthy in life? And what you have to do is then also write out your life direction pathway. What is my purpose? What is my life vision? And what is my life strategy? Why I exist, where I'm headed, and how I get there. And I'm going to do all this with you. I'm going to be the guide that's going to be working with you. And then you look at these vital signs and then you rate them. Are you doing good? Are you doing bad? Look at this one right here. This was a problem I had. I don't allocate my time well for the things that are most important. That I'm failing there. And so what do I need to do? I need to understand that only certain things are important, and I need to minimize how many things I am going to get done a day instead of letting things pull me in different pieces. So as I'm evaluating, when I edit my playbook, I'm going to edit that because I've gotten better with that. So I need to continuously evaluate. Not only do we need to continuously evaluate, you need to know if your energy is being invested or wasted. And we look at our replenishment cycles here. What refuels you? The worst thing to have is a person that gives amazingly high output, but doesn't refuel themselves. So these are the things that refuel me: silence, solitude, journaling, and prayer. It may be meditation for you, or walks outdoor with nature. One of the things that refuel me are quality time and intimacy with my wife. Another one that refuels me is Sabbath rest. Now you can see one of the problems I have right here is that I work too much and don't get refueled enough. And so I'm still missing the mark. If I do it 2 times a week, I'm missing the mark. If I do it 3 times a week, I'm hitting the mark. If I do it 5 times a week, I'm going above the mark. This is just the mediocre mark right here, enough to keep me fueled. 5 times a week is actually the goal. Where are you at when it comes to the things that refuel you? What is filling you up with energy? And if you aren't doing these things, that means that you aren't refueling yourself, and you're taking that time when you're supposed to refuel yourself and you're wasting it on other things. So we want you to look at your energy. And the last thing that we want you to do as I close this out is we want you to run the play. We want you to run the play. We want you to execute the plan. And what we give you is a life initiative profile. The next things that you need to execute, you need to look at today's status on where they're at, and you need to execute the plan. And we give you a win wheel. Remember, we told you what's important now. What are the biggest things that you need to take care of in your life to make sure you are giving your highest level of contribution, that you are that you are operating in your purpose, and that you are actually giving a value add and contribution to the world. This is the kind of plan you need if you're going to dig deep. This is the kind of plan you need if you're going to operate in your purpose. This is the kind of plan you need if you're going to give value add and contribution to the world. This is the kind of plan that it is my purpose to work with you along with this plan. So what I want you to do is I want you to email me at the link that will be below this video. I want you to reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. And I want to get in a room with you to develop your life plan right now. You need this. Why? Because we need you to operate in your highest level of contribution. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, Darren Greenfield from Invert Strategies, going over why a life plan is better than just relying on assessments, and what a life plan looks at by showing you my life plan. I want to help you establish the clarity that drives your genius. I want to help you accomplish your purpose and get after the highest levels of contribution in your life. I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope to work with you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time.